Hi guys, this is going to be one of my first videos on this channel. For those of you who don't know me, which is probably everybody, I just wanted to give you guys a short introduction about myself. My name is Eva, I'm 25. I want this video to be the first in a series about just going out and doing things on your own, things that you may have otherwise been afraid to do. I've been working on this the past few years and just learning to be content and doing things on my own and doing things for myself. I think that that's given me a really great sense of freedom that I wouldn't have otherwise had. I wanted to create this series of going on little journeys on my own because I want to show other people that even if you have this anxiety about going out into the world and people judging you, that it doesn't mean that you can't push through it. It doesn't mean that you can't do things that you want. And it doesn't need to be so scary because you're not the only person who feels that way. With that being said, welcome to the beginning of my journey. We're gonna be going to Anime NYC in New York. I'm not from New York, so I'm gonna be having to fly to this convention and I'll be staying there by myself and attending by myself. Hopefully I'm going to make some friends there and hopefully it will get me out of my comfort zone in a good way. I have been to New York before, so it's not like this is a completely new thing for me. But I have not been to a convention on this scale before, so it is going to be a new and intimidating experience. So, let's get to it. So I'm at my brother's house now. I finally arrived. I spent the past 2 days at my brother's house, so I got here from the airport and was just visiting with family for a little bit. Now I'm getting ready to go to bed, and tomorrow I am heading to Manhattan. It's gonna be the first official day of Anime NYC. Tomorrow I'm not cosplaying as anything in particular. I'm just gonna go in a more dressed up version of myself. I have a dress, it's kind of like Lolita inspired. I'm excited because I never really have events to wear that to. I put these fake nails on right before bed because it kind of matches my hair. And then tomorrow my dress is black, so I think it will look cute with that whole vibe I have. So yeah, now I just need to get ready for bed, and then I have to take the bus tomorrow, which I'm really nervous about because I grew up somewhere that didn't have public transportation. It was really rural and you had to drive to get anywhere. I'm really only used to places that things are not easily accessible, and even though I lived here for a little while and I would take the train and I got kind of used to taking the subway and stuff like that. I don't know why I hardly ever take the bus, and I'm really afraid that I'm going to get on the wrong stop or that something bad will happen. And I have a huge suitcase with me, so I'm really scared about having to take that, and what if there's not room for it? Honestly, I'm just really stressed out about it. I tend to work myself up over tiny things like this, so I'm trying not to let that keep me from doing what I want to do. And I mean, this is the only way that I'm gonna be able to get there, so it's not like I have a choice. So I'm gonna go to sleep now. It's almost midnight and I need to get up early So I'll go to sleep now, and then I'm gonna take the bus in the morning after I say bye to my family, and I have to get ready and do my makeup. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. It is now the morning. I woke up at 8:30 and I'm tired, but I'm doing better than I thought I would be. So now I'm just gonna get ready. I'm gonna go to the bus and I'll show you guys my outfit. I'm very excited about this one. It's really rainy today, so I'm a little nervous, but it should be okay. So, alright, I'll be back once I'm dressed. I just finished getting ready. It took me around 2 to 3 hours. It always does, like when I do crazy makeup like this. So today's look is inspired by Gothic Lolita, but I kind of have like a punk take on it. I'm wearing my Doc Martens. But yeah, so now I'm gonna head out to Manhattan, go to my hotel, and hopefully they'll let me check my bags early so that I can walk around and just explore the city a little bit before the convention. It doesn't start until 4, so yeah. I also think this is the first year that they're opening the con on Thursdays, so that's also why it starts a little bit later, because I don't know, maybe they're anticipating less people. But yeah, I'm gonna use today to really like just shop around at the artist alley and kind of get any merch I want, so that the next few days I can just focus on cosplaying and doing content and stuff like that. So yeah. I made it to my hotel, you guys. It's kinda tiny, but I mean, that's all I need, so now that I've made it to my hotel, I am gonna go grab some food. I'm a little bit later than anticipated because I got so sweaty when I was taking the bus and dragging my bags to the hotel. So I had to come in here and kind of redo some of my makeup, and I needed to like sort of wash myself a little because I was stinky. So now I am gonna go grab some food and go to the makeup store that I really wanted to in K-Town, and then after that I will be going to the con. I'm so excited. Okay guys, I'm at the con now. I actually went inside already, but it was really overwhelming. I tried filming inside, but it didn't record. Basically, I'm really intimidated by everybody in there, so I don't know, but I'm gonna try to go back inside. I made all these like little goodie bags, so I want to hand those out, and yeah, we'll see. Alright everyone, I'm back in my hotel room now. I ended up leaving a little bit early today. I got really overwhelmed. There was just a lot going on. Something I did not anticipate was that I would get such bad imposter syndrome there. Sorry, I'm like I grew up in a really small town, and I was always, at least I felt like one of the outliers there, and I was the person who didn't fit in with other people. And I know a lot of people would view that as a bad thing, but I kind of viewed it as a good thing, and it made me happy that I was unique. I guess I take a lot of pride in feeling special, and I know that everyone is individual and special, and I think sometimes I can put too much weight that I need to be the most special person, or like I need to be the best at this or that. I think it's also like important not to let my perfectionism like bleed into these little things. It's really hard to compare art. Like, for example, I was walking through the artist alley and there's so many amazing artists and they all have different art styles. They use different mediums or different printing methods. I would look at one, it was completely different from another artist. Like, they're both amazing in their own way. And I think that sometimes people tend to fall victim to comparison. It's sort of like you need to view it in that same concept. Like, just because one person is doing something really amazing, it doesn't take away from your own uniqueness, and it doesn't mean that you're not doing a great job too. It was like a moment of walking somewhere and just looking around and being like, wow, like, I'm not special. It's like I know that I'm not like the only person who has these interests. It's just so weird because like I don't ever talk to people who have interests like this, and it was really hard for me to even like walk around without having my little plushie to like hold on to. And then I just sort of go mute. Like, I made all these goodie bags and I didn't get to hand them out, which is a bit disappointing, but I still have 3 days left. I guess I just left feeling a bit discouraged, and I guess I have a bit of like jealousy. That's just my like raw, honest feelings. I hope nobody misinterprets it. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Sometimes seeing people with things you don't have just makes you feel that way. You can't help it. So tomorrow, I'm hoping that it will be a bit better. I'm gonna get sleep, and tomorrow is my Psyche cosplay. I'll see you guys in the morning. Alright guys, here's my outfit for day 2. I woke up kind of late today. It's okay because I don't need to get there right when everyone's lining up. I'm kind of just reminding myself that this is a vacation and I'm here to enjoy it. It's not like I have anything I need to do. I can just follow my own schedule. So I was thinking about going to the store and buying some coffee jelly for this fit. I'm a little bit nervous to go out in this just because, like, I think I'll feel fine at the con, but obviously there's gonna be people who don't like the fact that I'm wearing something like this. I'm kind of just like keeping that in mind because I don't want to get, you know, like harassed or something. I'm gonna head out and get coffee, some breakfast, and then I'm gonna go to the con. I'm hoping I will have the confidence today to actually hand out some of my goodie bags. I made it here. I'm really sweaty again. I've ended up finding the boba shop that I wanted to go to, but I only found like the food cart version of it. I couldn't find the actual location, and I gave up. So I just started walking to the center, and then the line went really fast. And now I'm just gonna like walk around and like try to hand out stuff. And there is a cosplay meetup I want to go to, but I low-key can't find it. So I'm just looking around right now. There are like so many good cosplays here though. I'm gonna try not to get intimidated like yesterday, so we'll see. Alright guys, I just left the con. I ordered lunch and I'm gonna go bring it back to my hotel. Sorry if the camera's moving a little bit. I low-key rigged it up onto this fence. I don't have a proper tripod. I'm gonna probably take a little nap can't come back. There's like a J Fashion Harajuku meetup later. I accidentally missed the My Dress Up Darling one because it ended earlier than it said it would. Kind of bummed about that, but whatever. I will see you guys when I get back to the con. Alright guys, I went back to the hotel. I just ate my lunch. It was really nice to kind of like regroup, and I laid down for a little bit, edited some photos, and then fixed my makeup a little bit more, and now I'm gonna go back out. I'm gonna go back to the con and just kind of walk around the artist alley more. And yeah, today I'm definitely feeling better than I was yesterday. I mean, yesterday I know that I was talking about feeling out of place. I think I was a little bit shocked by the amount of people. It's really intimidating for me because I'm not usually around that many people or cosplayers. So to have it all right there in front of me took a moment to sink in. But I definitely feel better now, and I handed out way more goodie bags today. When I get really exhausted, it's harder for me to be social, and I think yesterday had already been such a long day with traveling here that it was hard for me. But yeah, today I'm definitely feeling a lot better, so yeah, I'm gonna go back out there and hopefully I'll be able to make some friends and, you know, buy more cool stuff. I also had to change my shoes because the docks were hurting my feet too much and I have to wear them all day tomorrow. So today we're going with socks and sandals, pretty stylish. Done with the con for today. I was walking around the artist alley, but they started closing everything down, so I'm gonna have to go back tomorrow and be better about actually looking when they have shit opened. I met some really cool people at the Harajuku J Fashion meetup, so that was really fun for my first meetup. I walked around and like gave out the rest of my goodie bags, and I'm gonna go make more before I go to this after party. I'm a little nervous for the after party because I haven't been to a big party in New York before, so, but that's the next destination. I don't think I'm gonna bring you guys because I don't want to get fucking mugged, so. Alright guys, here's the fit for day 2. It took me a really long time to get ready, way longer than anticipated. I got up at like 7, 8, and I think it's probably almost like 11 right now. So yeah, but I finally did my makeup, got my wig and everything. I feel weird having my forehead showing, but whatever. Now I'm gonna head over to the con, and then I might go to K-Town later because I want to get some snacks for these goodie bags I'm giving out because I'm running out of them. So we'll see if I end up doing that. But yeah, alright, see you there. So I'm here. I'm just going to wander around and hopefully do some of the shopping at Artist Alley that I wanted to. I might meet up with some people I met yesterday. Hi guys, okay, it's the final day of the con. I just took forever to get ready. It's around noon. I'm gonna head over, and I didn't get to really look at the Artist Alley yesterday because there was just too many people in the morning. When I went back later on, I ended up meeting up with some friends yesterday, and I wanted to go out with them. They invited me to dinner, so I ended up just going out to dinner with them. So I didn't get to stay at the Artist Alley very long. I'm hoping today there will not be quite as many people because it's a little bit overwhelming to walk around with that many people there, but I'm gonna go head there now, hopefully do some shopping. I'm doing like a more lax cosplay today. I'm doing Modern Fern. I made this bag and I like that my nails are also red, like her little like crystal on her staff, and then I made my bag kind of look like her staff. And then I have my little hair clip and stuff. So like this is my Fern wig, but I just did a modern version of the outfit. I'll give you guys a full look when I get there, I think. And then later today, I think I'm gonna head to K-Town for dinner and maybe do some shopping. I don't really have a set plan, but that sounds like it could be fun. So yeah, I'll see you guys there. Alright guys, now it's the morning. I just got all my stuff packed up and I'm about to leave my hotel room. Last night I was so tired. I ended up just falling asleep right after I got back, so I didn't film anything. It was really fun. I'll give you more of a recap on my whole experience when I actually get back, because I gotta go catch my shuttle now, so. Okay, so I'm finally back at my house. Monday, I landed at my parents' house in the evening and I stayed there overnight. I picked up my dog, and then the next morning I had a work meeting right away, so I did that at my parents' house. I kind of had to jump right back into things. The grind never stops. I pretty much slept the entire evening. I was so exhausted. So I think I took like a 4-hour nap once I got back, and then I woke up just to let my dog out, and then I went right back to sleep until the next morning. I unpacked all my stuff in the morning and I spent the entire morning yesterday just organizing. It was hard because right before I left, I was getting together all of my cosplays and everything was so last minute packing that it was a mess when I came back. I ended up cleaning everything once I got back, and I feel a lot better now that everything is organized. And then I worked last night too. I have a work from home job as well as a job in a restaurant. So that ends up taking up a lot of my time just because I go back and forth between those two. Yeah, so this whole thing was really good, and I'm gonna give you guys some of my feedback. Here is some of my thoughts and sort of just general experience and what I thought of the convention. And of course, this is coming from somebody who is a first-time attendee. I don't really have experience going to big conventions, and I know there are people who have been going for years. This is definitely a fresh perspective. I'm not comparing it to previous years. There could be things I'm leaving out. Personally, I had a really great experience. I think I'm a bit biased just because I came here just for this convention. Like, I was gonna make it a good time no matter what for me. I don't think that really any way it could have gone. I'm not the type of person that would look back and say, wow, I wish I didn't do that. Like, I came here just for that. So I was gonna make it good no matter what. I also am not somebody who went for like the panels and autograph signing and things that you needed to enter in order to like get like tickets. I think it was like a lottery system that they do and you need to enter beforehand. I was really just going to make friends for the artist alley and to buy merch and then to see the cool cosplays. So I can't really talk about what things were like on that end of the convention. Although I really admired like voice actors and artists and everything, and there were a few panels I was interested in seeing, I guess I just prefer to admire from afar. And speaking of going to see amazing cosplays, there were some that I saw that seriously blew my mind. In particular, oh my gosh, I saw so many cool gachiakuda cosplays. There's a girl with red hair, and her hair in the back is kind of like a bow shape, and I saw a bunch of people who had made wigs for it, and it's so impressive to me. I saw people with wigs that they had literally put like pearls and like beads in. They were so beautiful. I saw this one Deku cosplay as like Vigilante Izuku, and it was peak. Like, it looked like they had just taken it straight off of like a manga panel. It was just insane how talented so many of these people are. While there are a lot of content creators there, a lot of people just like, they're just not known. They just do this for fun. So it was really crazy to like be able to go to a space and just see people who are like, oh yeah, like this is just my hobby, I just do this for fun, and like they have created the most insane cosplay ever. It's such like an awesome place like to people watch too. Like if you like people watching, you need to just go there, and like sometimes I would just go there and be eating my snacks and like just look at the people walking by, and like it gives you so many creative ideas. It was just so fun. Like I loved it. And it was also really fun to see people walking around the city, like New York, in their cosplays. It's just fun to like see them out in the wild, I guess. The one time that I went to a convention here, I had a huge staff for my Fern cosplay, and just walking from my car to the convention center, I felt, not to really, like, I don't want to use like these like words, but like I really felt kind of like a freak. Like it's a lot harder in a small town to sort of like blend in, especially because you're around so many people that grew up used to seeing one thing. They can be very judgmental towards seeing something different. That's one of the things that I like so much about a convention, is that your differences tend to be celebrated more than looked down upon. The thing that I love about New York City is that there are so many things going on every day that even if you look like a freak, you're gonna just blend into the crowd. Yeah, and I really didn't have any bad experiences at the convention either in terms of people being rude. The only bad experience I had was actually the last night when I went out in my cosplay and I was doing some shopping, and one of the stores that I was at, these two like early 20s, maybe like late teen boys came up to me. Because I had been having such good experiences the entire con, I just thought it was gonna be like one of those normal interactions of, wow, like you look really cool, do you like anime? And you know, just like something like that. But it kind of like turned weird, because at first, I forgot, they asked me if I saw one anime, and then they asked me if I saw One Piece, to which I said like, oh yeah, well I've only seen the first season so far. And they were sort of really frantic. They were like, oh really, like which one? Oh, also, do you watch hentai? And I was like, I had already been getting really weird vibes from the conversation, but when they asked that, they couldn't even look me in the eye. I don't know, there could have been so many worse things he could have said. Like, he could have been way more rude, but at that point I just walked away. I just said no, and I just like walked away, because really, like, we were also in the middle of this store. It's full of children, okay? Like, it was Miniso. So like, there are a lot of kids and their family. It's in Times Square, so it is crowded. Why would you ask that when there are so many people around here to, one, listen to you embarrass yourself, and two, just like be so blatantly disrespectful? And like, after I walked away, I didn't see them again, but really, it's just like that sort of thing. It's hard not to let it just ruin your entire day. I do both femme and mask cosplays, and sometimes like when I do the femme cosplays, it's just insane to me to see how different you get treated. And of course people can sexualize you in any cosplay, but I've never had somebody so boldly go up to me and like so blatantly just like sexualize me if I'm dressed as a character or something. Like, I'm not necessarily shocked, but I don't know. That was really my only bad experience. It's hard not to let something like that ruin your day because you're thinking things like, oh, like, I wonder if people were just like looking at me and thinking that all day, or just thinking, oh, like, I'm just some like perverted freak or something, you know? Like, it's hard not to let it ruin your perspective on everything. And I think that that's why a lot of cosplays, I think, actually should be praised more, because you have to go through that and you need to sort of steel yourself against those people who are going to be rude to you. So yeah, but at the conventions themselves, like, nothing like that happened. Everyone I talked to was super nice and respectful. I know some people have bad experiences with photographers and stuff, and I think sometimes it can be a bit shocking. You are treated a little bit like a prop. I've never had my photo really taken by professional photographers in that setting before, so it was a little bit shocking when you would see them go up and they take a photo and then they say, okay, change pose. As I've only been to a very small convention before this one, at that convention there were not photographers really. There was like one photo station that you could go to. I think that it was like a person hired by the event space to take photos. Here, they were everywhere. Like, all of the main spaces that people were gathering, they just like set up their equipment, and there was light boxes and all kinds of stands. I mean, I think that that's like kind of to be expected. A big thing in conventions, I think, is people just like filming content for themselves. So like they bring their own iPhone stands and whatever just to do TikToks or whatever. It's just, when it's an event on such a large scale, it ends up taking so much space because you're multiplying the amount of people who have that same thought of you of, oh, well, it would be really great if like I had better lighting. Maybe I should bring my light box with me. And then like multiply that by 10, and then you have 10 people with like gigantic things of equipment, and they need to find space. So I did see some people that were very frustrated online about that because they were sort of blocking some areas, and I totally understand that complaint. Photographers, a lot of times that is their source of income, and like they need to make money somehow, so they're gonna try to have the best photos possible. As an artist, I think I'm more sympathetic towards those situations. I don't think that they should be like blocking spaces, but some of that is really up to the event coordinators to monitor. I think as long as they're being respectful and keeping in mind that it is a shared space, so if somebody wants to sit right next to your photography equipment, like, while that might be a little bit weird, it's also not allowed. People are allowed to come and go as they please because it's a public space. So I think everyone needs to like sort of keep that in mind. I mean, personally, I do think it would be nice if they had like a set area to photograph things in, but I know that it's hard to in convention centers like that. A lot of photographers are looking for spaces with good natural lighting. Even if they're bringing their own light boxes and camera equipment, like, natural lighting is just so important. I totally noticed that they really just congregated towards spaces that the windows were like facing and shining light to. And a lot of times that just ended up being where people wanted to walk. So I think that there could have been a little bit more direction in terms of signage. I'm also a graphic designer, so I'm always going to be saying that there should be signs posted, but I do think it was a bit confusing walking in. Once you actually got up to the venue, there was a huge crowd of people, and some people are waiting to meet friends and whatnot, and you're kind of just like, okay, like, where am I? Like, where do I go? Once you figure that out, it's fine, but there definitely could have been signs though saying like entrance this way, you know? Security, like, super fast, whatever. They had one of those like metal detector scanners, but I also heard some things online of people saying that like the metal detector did go off for them and they were just waved through anyways, which it is like slightly concerning because if somebody did have bad intentions, like, who's to say they weren't just waved through, because it didn't really look like they were checking that thoroughly. Like, it kind of seemed like they didn't care very much. And I thought it was funny that the badges had a QR code, but like they didn't scan anything. I mean, it was fine. Nothing bad happened. The lines went very quickly. And then I also wanted to talk a bit about the artist alley, because that was the reason that I personally wanted to go. And the ironic thing is that I didn't end up even buying that much stuff from the artist alley. I tend to be very selective in what I buy. So many of the amazing things that I saw were print-based, which isn't necessarily what I was looking for. I was looking more for like merch items. I saw some really cool stuff, but I didn't really feel the urge to buy it, which is fine. Like, that just happens sometimes. I did see some people talking about seeing AI art, which is really disappointing, considering every artist is sort of like vetted and then they have to like submit a portfolio or something in order to be accepted. So like the fact that AI art was allowed in is just an interesting choice. I saw a lot of people complaining that it smelled really bad in the artist alley. And listen, I totally understand that it sucks when something stinks and it can be really hard to ignore. I have a very bad sense of smell, so it wasn't something that stood out to me or bothered me. I know that people sort of tend to label anime fans as stinky anyways, so I don't think that this helped that sort of view. Just my note on the whole smell issue was that, of course, some people do just have horrible personal hygiene, and that's something that they need to work on, not only for themselves, but to be considerate to people around them. But I think that something also to note is that especially people who are going in cosplay are sometimes re-wearing the costumes that they have, and you can't necessarily wash some of these pieces. And being in such a big space with all these things happening, like, you might just be like really sweaty. And I know I was wearing a lot of layers, and I had to stop back at my hotel and literally take a shower in between because I was sweating so much. But some people don't have close hotels, like they can't do that. So I think that's like something just to keep in mind, that while some people are just unhygienic and that is on them, I think some people are trying, but they're in a difficult position because of these various factors. And a tip to any cosplayers who do have costumes that you can't really wash easily, I've heard online that if you take some like diluted vinegar and like spray it on the costume, that will disinfect it, and then you can use a steamer, use that like hot water to like get rid of, you know, any smells and stuff like that. So there are ways that you can help de-stink yourself and your costume. And then another main complaint that I personally had about the artist alley, and I know a lot of other people agreed with this, was the layout of the space and having it be overcrowded. At some points on Saturday, I felt like I couldn't even be in there because it was so packed. I was either trying to get around people or people were pushing me, and it was so hard to move that I felt I couldn't even browse or look at the art that I wanted to. That definitely led to me not buying as many things as I wanted, and just not being able to look at things and really fully experience things. I think in the future it would be nice if there was a little bit more direction on where people should be walking, you know, just like more clear walkways, or even if they just indicated what direction people should be walking. I think that that could be really helpful. I think it would have also made sense to have each space separated a little bit. Any of these things are going to be hard to address if there is not a proper amount of employees and staff. I don't think that these issues will truly improve unless they either hire people, vet them, and train them better. But again, that takes time, money, and effort. So it really comes down to whether or not they want to utilize those resources. As far as the after parties went, I personally had a great time, though I know some people were upset that they were oversold. And overall, I really did have Overall, I really did have Overall, I did have a really good time at this event, and I do think that if you have the time and the money, because I know it can also be quite expensive, but if you have the time and the money to spend on something extra like this, I think it's a fun thing to experience, and I definitely want to go back again next year. I think my personal favorite part was the cosplays that I saw and the after parties. I wouldn't let any of these negative things that I've said deter you from going. I think that with an event this scale, it's just bound to happen. There are bound to be issues and complaints. And thank you guys if you watched this long in the video. I know that this is a very new channel. I definitely want to make more convention videos like this in the future, or just videos sort of like reviewing things. So, oh, and also if you had a favorite cosplay or favorite creator or something that you saw during Anime NYC, please leave a comment down below tagging them, or, you know, like DM me, because I definitely want to see all these cool cosplays and stuff that I may have missed out on. I'm trying to get to know more people in the community and just like grow my awareness. So if you had a favorite cosplay you saw there, please let me know.